Here we go.
Are you kidding me? Is that okay if I post?
Coffee is life. I don't know what you would do without it. Drink tea or something?
What's up? What's poppin'?
Hey.
I am embarrassed for you. What is going on?
Are we recording?
Yeah, I just
We've
wanted
been
to
doing
see.
great.
How do you even do an intro? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Guys, what is going on?
What's poppin'?
You know, it's Bronte.
It's Becca. We back.
Becca, do you want to tell them what we're talking about today?
I don't know. I think you should.
So, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about next, and we thought it was perfect to talk about the things they don't tell you before you start nursing school. And we were trying to limit to 10 topics.
To 10. But I don't think it's going to happen.
We just couldn't.
I think there's, how much we got on that page? Like 100?
That's
not even close.
I wrote down so many.
It's crazy. They don't tell you a lot. And when you're in there, you just have to figure it out. Because once you're in, you're in. You're in for life.
When they say you have to commit a good chunk of your life, if not all of it, they didn't go into detail about just how many sacrifices.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you really dedicate your life and you really have to put a lot of things on the back burner.
You dedicate your life to save lives.
And it's exhausting, I'm not going to lie. It's not all sunshine and rainbows over here. It's hard, but it's worth it. It's rewarding. So I guess we should just jump right in, right?
I know. I mean, we took our final, almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm still exhausted.
I'm so tired. And it doesn't matter how much sleep you get when you're in school, you don't get no sleep. But, you know, you can rest, but it takes a while to recover from school.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, it's so rewarding in the end. You just are crying every step of the way sometimes.
Sometimes happy tears, sometimes upsetting. Sometimes you just need to get a milkshake at
Becca had this one mental breakdown. It was after,
horrible.
Your first exam? Was it Mater's? Oh,
it was like first or
M.
It was like first or second. I mean, pretty much all of them, I feel like. But it was like one of those really hard ones. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was in your car and I found out the test grade and I just started bawling. And then you were like, we should go to Chick-fil-A. And I mean, it really did help. But
yeah, it's
upsetting. But
sometimes you just need to take a minute and go get a milkshake. That's like one of my mottos.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You might be drinking a lot of milkshakes when you're in nursing school.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Let's just jump right into it.
All right. Go ahead.
First big thing, the books.
There's
my gosh.
So many books. It's crazy. And they're so expensive. And they don't come in, like, you can't put it in with your tuition. You have to pay for it separate.
Yeah.
At least I did jump in the LPN model. It cost me, like, over $1,000.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. They're like, you can pay a lump sum fee for all of these books, and they're like, these are all the books you're going to be using for the next 2 years. And you're like, you know what? Okay, great. It sucks that I have to put so much money down, but then it's like,
some of the books you don't even use,
or they're not enough. They're like, oh, here we're going to be. You don't find out until you're in the class.
Like third semester with the community book.
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm like, sorry, that's not in our package. And they're like, tough luck.
Yeah, go buy it.
Go buy it. And everyone's like fighting on the Facebook page
for it.
Our school has a Facebook page that they sell all the textbooks, and they're like fighting for it. It's like blood.
It's crazy, but
I mean, you have to get them. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
And also too, they don't tell you how big your binders are going to be.
Yeah, 1 inch is not cutting it.
No, mine's like, I have, after this semester, I kid you not, I don't even know how big they are. At least over 3 inches, and there's 3 of them. And that's not counting clinical.
No, clinical is separate. It's crazy how much. And the printing, they give you, like, so much that you can print for free. And it's, like, only enough for the first test. You know, like, first couple of lectures. And then you have to spend a lot of money on printing. I wish I could be that person that could just look, like, on the PowerPoints online. Mm-hmm. But I'm not. I have to print it and write on it, and
I'm so anal with my PowerPoints.
Yeah.
They have to be printed a certain way. Usually I'm a 4-slide person, but Oh no, the 3 one that has the lines.
The lines, yeah.
I need room to write. I can't. So I've seen people do
I feel
the
like
6
you
per page.
rewrite it and rewrite it. You're like a rewriter.
I'm a rewriter.
Yeah.
I have so many pens. It's just, I have so many pens I don't even know what to do with it anymore. It's become a problem.
Yeah.
It became to the point where, like, when I got pens as gifts, I got so happy. Or Target becomes your worst enemy too.
Yeah.
I'm in there and I go down the pen aisle.
You're gonna have like carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
By the time you're done, it's crazy.
Actually a funny story. My boyfriend, every time we go into Target, I go down the pen aisle. But there was this one time we were studying together at the table, and I had my binder out.
Yeah.
And my beautiful colors, and I was just, reading my notes.
Yeah.
He spills his glass of water on my binder, and it goes everywhere. And in that moment, I wanted to cry, and I think he wanted to cry, and I think his mom wanted to beat him, because she even thought, those notes are so beautiful. How could you do that? He felt terrible. Like, we were able to save them, but we put, like, one paper towel in between the notes sort of deal. But that
used a lot of paper towels.
Yeah. The note-taking. It depends on what type of note-taker that you are. Mm-hmm. I've seen, like, a person write down one word, and I have a whole paragraph next to it. And I'm like, how can someone do that? Like, I just don't even understand
and
it.
I don't, like, I always have to, I don't know about you, but I always have to record my lectures because I'll be, like, writing something down, and then I'll re-listen to it because I recorded it, and then I'm like, why didn't I write that down? Mm-hmm. I feel like I have to write everything down.
Every single thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what was that? Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Rewind. And you always have to clarify what they said.
They're tricky in their words. It's
sometimes,
hard.
Sometimes in lecture, they're beating around so much. Pretty much what it sums up to, it's like, what do you want us to know on the exam? What lab value do you want us to know?
Just, FYI, just know all the labs. Because...
All labs.
Specific numbers, because even if they say you don't need to know it, you're gonna need to know it.
Yeah, if they say this isn't gonna be on the test, don't worry about it, and they skip over it, don't believe them.
Do not. They're gonna put it on the test. I've had it like happen like 10 times, and it's like so annoying.
Because we don't want to say 80% they never do it. Nah. You gotta know everything.
Just get a general concept of what they say don't learn.
And don't just run off the PowerPoints either.
Oh yeah, no, because you can't fight them. Like, if you don't understand the concept, you can't go back and make an appeal, question and be like, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if any other school does this. I think they do. Our school has appeal forms. So after, when we get to review our exam, we get to review our exam after a week. And then you get to write this appeal form. It's like you're writing I don't know.
You're trying to argue the question, I guess. I mean.
Yep, you have to state the question. You have to state your references. They want references.
Oh, yeah. And then from their books, too.
From
Not
their
another
books.
Book.
Nope. Then there's a line for, like, what teacher it was reviewed by, and it's this whole thing. They don't just get back to you in an hour. Days.
And some people I've heard about it say, oh, it wasn't on the PowerPoint. That's not good enough.
Nope.
Even if it's not on the PowerPoint and it's in this big textbook, you probably should have looked over it. That's what they used to tell me.
Yep. And that's why you need to record your lectures, too, because you can go back. Didn't you try to fight you tried to fight one?
I did. It was a GI question. I hate GI. Oh my God. It is my least favorite subject. I just can't do it. But, I tried to fight a question, and even though I was right because she said it in lecture, I still didn't get to fight that question. Mm-hmm. But I'll never forget it, so it is what it is.
And I mean, and also if you record lectures too, I'm not going to say all nursing classes are long. You know what? Yeah, all nursing classes are going to be long, at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
maybe a break once.
Yeah. If it's longer than that, it depends on how the teacher cuts it up. So, our school has a Starbucks in it, and guaranteed every time after every break,
people are running to that line.
People are running to that line, but also not so much running back to class, but if you have your recorder on,
Yeah.
you figure out what you missed, like after
Yeah.
when you go back and listen to it. And it sucks because sometimes it's like you missed 2 chapters of content in what, 5
you've
minutes?
Only been, yeah. So when they say, you know, be back at 7 o'clock or whatever, you need to be back at 6:55.
Yeah.
Because once 7 o'clock hits, they're starting and they don't wait.
Yeah. No, they
So,
don't. They're
you
like, we
know.
don't have time.
And also a little tip for you guys coming in. Not everyone's like this, but if you're recording lecture, please, you know, don't be afraid to tell the people around you to be quiet, or, you know, don't eat such a loud snack. Because when you're driving, you have your volume all the way up in your car. You can hear people chewing. You know, I mean, it's funny, but it's not, because then you'll miss something the teacher said, and then, you know, that could be a test question, because every point counts.
Every point counts.
Point. Listen, people. Every point counts. I failed a semester.
By
And
what?
not even 1 point. By
Tell them.
0.02 of a point.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't round up. So, like I said, and you know what? You worked hard for your points. And you need to make sure you're fighting for those points.
Every single one.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
It's crazy.
You figure out what your minimum passing rate is for your class, and you write that down on the front of your binder, tattoo it on your hand, something, because that is the Bible that everyone lives by the whole semester. Our number was 243.
Yep.
243 out of 315. That's what everyone was saying. As long as you get a 243, you're good.
Yeah.
That's all you heard. 243, 243, 243.
Mm-hmm.
And that's embedded in your mind. I'm never going to forget that number, ever, because it scars you.
It does scar you. And, you know, it's funny because even if you get 243, or you get, you know, a C, or if you get an A, like if you get 315 out of 315, it doesn't make you any better of a nurse.
Yep.
Passing is passing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, once you're in nursing school, you're on survival mode.
Yeah.
And you need to do whatever you need to do to survive and take care of yourself.
Only worry about yourself. It's so hard when you're around these people so much, and when you're thinking about points so much, you think that defines you. It doesn't.
Yeah.
We all get caught up in it. I don't care. Like, we all panic when we see a grade, and you're like, oh my God, what did that do to my grade?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard not to compare yourself to anyone else. And I mean, I have to tell myself this all the time. They aren't me, and I'm not them.
Yeah. And they might just be a good test taker.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people who, you know, maybe not the best in clinical, and they have an A passing rate. And I've seen people who are failing, and they're great with their patients, and they're on top of it. You know, the tests don't define you, and I wish nursing school would, you know, kind of redo that and make, you know, maybe things a little bit different. Because you can be a good test taker and get all A's, but when you get out there, I mean, that's when the real test is.
Yeah, and that's what I was struggling with, the test taking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I mean, we would study together all the time. I knew my information.
We studied for hours. We were at that college till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And we got there at what, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock in the morning.
To go to the gym.
9:30 at night. And I wasn't afraid to say my grades. Because, I mean, yeah, we're all in this together. I mean, yeah, this is my grade. Of course, it's private. You don't even have to say your grade. Like, that is your business. You can just say, you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything at all. But, like, for me, I wasn't afraid to say it. Like, I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong.
Yeah.
And you try and do better and better every single time, and sometimes it's just so defeating. So it's hard not to compare yourself to another person. It really is.
Well, it is. And, you know, if you can find, like, 1 or 2 good friends in nursing school that, you know, have your back, I mean, I think that's what carried me.
Yeah.
You know, you and definitely Brittany last semester, like, you guys have really just, you know, like, there was no judging.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of cliques and judging in nursing school, and if you can just open up to somebody about your grade, and maybe, like, it's not even about their grade, but to see how their thought process is, I think that's fairly important.
That completely opened my eyes.
When me and you started studying together, it was just like, we both think differently.
Yeah.
And we saw things in a different view.
I remember, even before you came to the school, I was like, with my clinical groups, like asking every single one, like, how do you study? I just want you to be, how do you study? Like,
Yeah.
you could say something, I'm like, wow, I've never even tried that before.
Yeah.
Like, really, right. I got like a huge expo board myself for my house.
Yeah.
And like so many expo markers. I
ask for them for Christmas presents, birthday presents.
go to Walmart. They always have
them
packets.
on sale.
Yep.
Because you're going to use a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy just how much
Yeah.
of those things you're going to use.
Yeah.
So.
Because that was a big learning curve for me. And that was my challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to study. Like, I knew I could study. Like,
Yeah.
that was fine. But when it came to the exams, it's a different way of thinking. So it was altering my thinking while studying to help
Yeah.
me for the exam. And now I see it now.
The
but
light bulb went off.
The light bulb went off, thank God. But like I was going to everyone, what do you do when you study? I don't care how you study, even if you think it's embarrassing. I want to know.
Yeah.
Like
And there's a lot of study, how, like, different ways to study. And you'll be surprised, when you start nursing school, a lot of people don't study the same.
Mm-mm.
You can't just read off the PowerPoint. I mean, good for you if you can, but I can't just read off the PowerPoint and be like, oh, I got an A on the test, Sometimes luck doesn't get you every time for nursing school.
And sometimes it might think that when you're looking at other people, but I try not to compare myself. It is really hard. You're like, wow, you know what? Good for them, though. And that goes back to just the judging. I think what I find a lot of the time is we're all new to this. And some questions that are asked in class, when I just hear people's remarks about them, like, I don't know if it's the person asking them or just the question itself. I hate hearing people just make fun of that person.
Yeah, there's no need, because I'm sure the person that's making fun of them probably doesn't know the answer anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's no room for that.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you go in nursing school, and with our school too, I think there's a lot of that. And not just in nursing school, in general.
In general.
There's a lot of judging, and it's really sad, And I'm not perfect. I've judged people. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like Jesus, but, I just got to watch myself and catch myself and be like, you know what, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And bring myself back to reality.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. Anywhere, because you could ask that one question, and that question's going to be on the exam.
And that point matters.
Yeah, and those people are like, wow, I'm glad that person asked that question.
That happened to me, so.
Because sometimes I'm in the exam, I'm like, wasn't there a question asked about this? And you're right, I've judged people too. Like, I'm not perfect either. But then, I think this last year alone, I've seen how much judging is going on.
Yeah, you're blind. I mean, the farther and farther you get through nursing school, I feel like, I call it blinders. Your blinders go off, and you can see a lot more because you're, pretty much have more experience than, the new people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when you have to be like, okay, I was in their spot once, just 3 semesters ago or 2 semesters, whatever the time frame might be. I was in their semesters. I was in their shoes. So,
Yeah.
just be open-minded people coming into nursing school.
And there's so many different ages, too. I've never seen such a big age pool.
Oh, my gosh.
When
I was in LP in school, I was the youngest person. I graduated when I was 19 years old. And we had somebody who was in their 60s, almost 70s. And it's never too late to learn how to take care of people.
I love that.
And it's really cool to see.
I love that. Okay, I'm not, maybe this person's going to listen to the podcast, but this was like last year. We were doing like a group thing in class, our group activities that you do. I don't know if your teacher will like group activities, but be prepared for them because there will be a lot of them possibly. Yes. And one person said, it was something along the lines of like anyone over 25, like that's old. And
I'm 26, so I guess I'm old then.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm 20 at that time. I'm like, I'm 26. And he's like, oh, not you. I'm like,
what?
Where do you get off?
How old was he?
I was like 19, 20.
Lord.
I can guess. I didn't even know. I have no idea. Like,
yeah.
But I'm like, you serious?
Yeah. You're never too old to
never
do
too
anything.
old. And it's really, really awesome seeing that. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I did the RN later in life.
I did too.
You know, I had a baby, so I was going to go back to RN when I was 19, but I'm glad I waited because I feel like I'm a lot more mature to handle certain situations than I was, you know, back when I was 19.
Well, how about having a kid then? Because, I mean, I don't have kids, but...
I got one. His name's Willie. Love him. But, no, it's hard. I mean, I live with my parents, moving out hopefully after this last semester. But, I have a good support system at home, and I think that's what really makes a difference. You know, that they really help me with my son. But he's 4, so he doesn't understand, like, I have to study. I can't play, you know, trucks and monster trucks with you. So I think sometimes that's hard, but I just got to remember who I'm doing it for.
Yeah, and I always admire those that have families and kids, younger kids, older kids, because it hurts when you can't spend the quality time that you want with your kids.
It does.
Like,
you just got to keep telling yourself that you're making their future better because you're giving up this time.
And I loved hearing, because some people who were even in my clinical group had kids, and things that their kids would say to them, like when they're leaving or the night before, or like, oh, mommy, I want to be a nurse, and the pictures. And it's just so cute because it's just, that probably just brightens up their day, because they probably just feel so, I mean...
No, you do really, you feel guilty.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to take a step back and realize, like I said, you are doing it for them. But, and it's not even sometimes about them too, it's about yourself. Like, what are your goals in life? And, you know, you can't, like, you can take care of your family and take care of getting a 77 on a test or whatever, but you can't forget yourself. You know, and I lost that last semester. I was losing my mind. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. You know, in this semester, this past semester, I passed, thank the Lord, but I didn't have a lot of clinical workload, but I started, like, going to the gym. I've lost 20 pounds so far. Woo! So excited. You know, I've been through some counseling. Like, I really honestly have took a step back in my life and be like, nursing school, yes, I'm passing, but I can't forget about myself, too.
Yeah.
So coming into nursing school, make sure you don't ever forget to take care of yourself, because you can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree?
I agree. And you said support system, and I don't have a kid. My family, I don't know what I would do without them. I moved back home. I used to live in Philly my first semester, and commuting from that to this
I didn't
school.
know that.
Yep. That was when the traffic was bad, it was like an hour and a half commute.
It's a long
That
time.
hurt so bad. But halfway through that semester, I moved back home, so the commute was only an hour. So
It's still weird because we go up and down those hills all the time.
yeah, with buggies
It's a lot
everywhere.
of gas money.
A lot of gas money. That you have to factor in too with this. But our school is a huge commuter school, so just think about that when you're picking a school. But going back to my support system, not only my family, but the relationship that you're in, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, partnership, anything that is so important. And I mean, me personally, my boyfriend has been so supportive, and I feel like I'm the awful one. Sometimes I am so tired, and we will talk about the amount of sleep that you will be getting.
You get no sleep.
You get
guys.
no sleep. And him and I have a long distance relationship, and we see each other on the weekends, and sometimes we have like the movies planned and a party, and sometimes I cannot even open my eyes. It is, and I also work full time in a lab, so I feel so bad, but he has never once been like, oh, well, you know, F you.
Yeah. Well, and that's
You know.
good to have. You know, you definitely don't want a relationship where it's all about the other person and that your goals don't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's really important. And, like, you know, and I feel like that's something I look up to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, give people hope that there's great guys out there.
That's another talk that we're going to have.
There is. They're not all bad. And nobody's perfect, you know, but
it just helps when you are in a relationship or any kind of partnership or anything, that they understand what you are going to be going into.
And they have to respect.
They have to respect that. Study time, sleep time, break time.
And another thing about sleep is, you know, you can get 8 hours of sleep, but your body's not fully in that REM cycle because you're waiting for that alarm clock to go off because you better be up at 4:30 to go to clinical. And if you miss it, attendance is very important in nursing school.
When we tell you there's no attendance like clinical attendance, and we can talk about clinicals.
Oh yeah, they do it by the second. If you're a second late, you're going home.
I mean,
we used to be 25 minutes early.
Factor, okay guys, you know what? You could live on the edge. Do that. I don't care. But I'm a panicker.
I need to make sure I'm up.
I factor in. So our school has shuttle buses only from the school and the hospital that we're affiliated with. We also have clinical sites not affiliated with our school. So whatever clinical site you are at, factor in time to get there. Because we not only have an hour commute, it's literally you turn out of your driveway, you go left for us, but we got to think about downed wires or something construction. There's a lot of Amish where we live.
And you can't use no excuses.
No excuses. Our school is a no excuse
policy. You could
policy.
get in a car accident and they would be like, well, you better be coming here with crutches.
They'll be like,
they don't play.
Well, one body part has to at least make it here.
And that better be your brain.
Yep.
That's it.
You are running and you are panicking. And I guess sometimes it is down to the clinical instructor, but for the most part, they've all been,
same.
You've got to get here. Because that one person can say something and then it screws everyone over. So they are strict.
They are. Well, and I think they have every right to be strict because you're going to take care of people, so you need to take this seriously.
Yeah.
This is not something you can just BS your way and learn on the job.
Yeah.
You really have to
act professional.
Definitely don't want to be failure to rescue your patient.
Oh, yeah. Failure to rescue is a big thing. It's concerning for them. Oh, and also factor in the time the elevators take to get up to whatever floor you're on.
Yep. That was...
Maybe factor in another 10 minutes. We were on, the 7th floor this semester, and there were 6 elevators to choose from.
Yeah, but there were so many people, and there was always one that was broken, and, you could take the stairs, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it would be good for you to exercise anyway, so take the stairs, everyone.
Yeah, run. Just run.
So...
don't joke around with that. And, to wake up in the morning, play some nice hype music.
I remember when we went to clinical, it would be listen to Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Love me some Nicki, guys.
Oh my gosh.
No, just to wake you up and get your brain functioning.
Yeah.
You really have to give 100% in clinical or anything you do with nursing. You can't half it.
Yeah.
Because you'll definitely be, somewhere dying.
And I know you're not into coffee.
No, I don't like coffee. Love hot chocolate, but no coffee.
You are not a huge... You're not at all. At all.
No, I don't drink coffee. I don't like it. And, I'm kind of a cheap person. So, if I get hooked on something, if I get hooked on coffee, I'll end up going to Wawa spending, $10 every day. So, but maybe by 4th semester I'll be doing the coffee because I need something.
With our Starbucks in our school, that already screws me over.
It's expensive.
And then just on our way to clinical, either we stop off sometimes.
We usually stop and get breakfast.
If there's a Dunkin' Donuts on the way, forget about it. Game over. Game over. Chick-fil-A.
On the way home, yes.
Game over. I've never had a coffee addiction like I do now. I did it for, when I was in undergrad for my first degree. Oh, no. And I was a late bloomer with coffee. I didn't...
Really?
Yep, didn't start drinking until I was 20, 21. So it was all the rage when, 9-year-olds are drinking it. I'm like, what the heck?
It's crazy.
But now what brings me joy is coffee. I actually, it was our 2nd semester clinical group. I got all of my clinical classmates a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Because we were so addicted to Dunkin' Donuts coffee. But we made it, but that was my little gift. And
So if you're listening, make sure, you drink some coffee. And if people ask you what you want for a graduation gift or even, birthday or anything, that's another thing. Expo markers.
Oh my God.
And Dunkin' Donut gift cards. Or any, Starbucks, whatever you drink. Because that's going to be big. And, every dollar counts. Just like every point counts.
You'll never see as many left behind coffee thermals
Oh
than
my
you would in
gosh.
nursing school.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And some people invest some good money. I'm like, how much you pay for that?
yeah.
What, $39?
Yeah.
And it's the extra large ones that you see at Target. I'm like, you know, I'm a Target fiend, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I know how much that cost. That
Yeah.
isn't the cheap one. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, your coffee addiction may go up.
it will.
So up. What else we got here? Do we want to talk about nails real quick?
Yeah, I actually painted my nails the other day.
I
But,
was just going to say they look like they were professionally done.
Thank you. I'm trying. For nails, you cannot have your nails done, and they better be short.
Short. No
Short.
acrylics.
No acrylics. No
Polish.
regular polish.
Maybe naked nude polish.
But they can't. Hopefully they don't see it, because some of those, even like the light pinks, you can see. And they'll send you home. They won't just tell you to take it off. They'll send you home. So, but I mean, you really don't, you know, if you're studying like you should be, you probably don't have time to do your nails anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
This
I guess
is not a fashion show.
I guess it really depends on the clinical instructor too. There are those cool ones.
That's true.
And
But
then
then
they're
if
not
you
so
go
cool
to
ones.
sim and get a different one,
Oh yeah, then you're screwed.
then you're screwed.
So don't just, you know, go off of your one clinical instructor, because then there's going to be that one.
Or if they call off because they're sick and you have another one come in, you know, you just never know. So just, you know, maybe keep cotton balls and nail polish.
Yeah, bring
remover.
some acetone in your bag. Bring everything. Drugs
Everything.
too.
Your bag will become
I cannot
so
tell
heavy.
how
You probably have back problems.
I do actually.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Remember my rolly thing?
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Tell them about how many drugs did I, you know, legal drugs. Like, for how many drugs did I dish out during clinical?
It's crazy. I remember this guy got sick in clinical, and you're like, I have this, this, and this, and he was like, what?
Thank God, because he was dying of the flu.
Yeah.
Or something. He was dying of something.
And we had to, you know, make sure he didn't look like he had the flu, because if you're sick, you get sent home no matter, you know, you only got 2 days to miss, and if your third day you're sick, they don't care. They'll kick you out of the program.
Yeah, it's
so,
two shifts in a minute. If you're a minute over, you're done.
you're done.
You fail clinical and you fail lecture. I mean,
Yeah.
that's for our program, so, and I'm sure it's the same everywhere else. But you know what? And I forgot about this, like, on the list. You said simulations.
Yeah. Those are interesting times.
Oh my gosh. I never cringe so much. Never. Oh my gosh.
It is scary because your other classmates, you know, you're in there with the, you know, fake patient, whatever you want to call it, and, you know, you have your list to do, and people are watching you, and they actually are grading you. So you know when you get back to that room, you're going to be graded. People are going to give you pros and cons of feedback, and it's scary because you're like, how many, you know, or is the pros going to outweigh the cons? Like, it's scary.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't done anything like that, or you're just about to start nursing school, I'm sure you're going to have a simulation day or a couple of them. And for us, our school laid out every day of the 15 weeks, and you knew when those days were coming. So basically, as Becca said, simulation, it's either you know the group or you don't. You get the cases beforehand or you don't, and it's a whole day or days of, basically it's a scenario, and it's you, sometimes it's solo,
Sometimes, yeah.
and you either
sometimes you have to play the family member.
or that's the best one. Like, you
just sit in the corner.
just sit in the corner. Or I don't know, it's so cringeworthy, I can't. And our school it's fairly new and state of the art, so if you can only we have a simulation area where it's set up like a hospital wing, a hospice center, and when I tell you, the people that run simulation have the best job in the world. They do. They crack up on a daily basis, because there are cameras that can do a 360 spin, and if you get to watch as well, because you have to evaluate your classmates or whoever's in your group. When I tell you they have angles everywhere, you will not miss any facial expression.
No,
they will zoom into you. They can zoom into the IV pump if you've programmed it wrong.
Yeah, so, you really just gotta make sure, you're doing your homework and you're studying before clinical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only do what you can do,
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the simulation dolls. I gotta bring that up.
Okay, go ahead.
You either have the fake dummies, and we have the high-tech dummies where our teachers actually, or the sim control
people,
guys, they're actually talking, but there's this pause in between, and you sound so dumb in it.
Yeah.
You're just dying inside. You're slowly dying inside. Or the live actors. There are live actors. We got to have that this semester.
They're crazy.
Which I thought the live actors were a lot better than the dolls.
Yeah, one time we had the dolls. I didn't, but I was watching somebody, and they actually ran out of battery at the time, but they thought the patient was coding, so they were treating it like a code. And I was like, wait, I think the battery's dead. But, you just got to look back and, you're thankful for those moments because they do teach you things.
And everyone's in the same situation. All your classmates are too.
Feeling the same way.
The same thing. And the first thing that you ask them, like, how dumb do I sound? Because you had the lead nurse, the charge nurse, the med nurse, family member. And you're like, okay, Bronte, you're the lead nurse. I'm like,
you're like, what?
Okay. Oh, and guys, put the equipment back where it's supposed to be for the next clinical group.
Yeah, because you look kind of, you feel dumb when you're looking in a drawer. It says IV pumps, but there's no IV pumps in it. Yeah. Or medicine, then you have to go looking for it. And
it's just annoying. But also with simulation come your first skill checkoffs.
Oh my goodness. I remember, so I had to do the first one in the LPN.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right the day before the final.
Oh, no.
And, we didn't get to practice it. We were, known. We had to know it because, we're already nurses.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so, we had to do it. And, luckily, I got, a 90% or something. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was scary. I mean, if you failed it, you got one more shot. If not, you couldn't move to third semester.
Mm-hmm.
So, the
Expotatoes.
Guys, sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing certain words. Sometimes I stutter, actually. But it's okay. But sometimes, you just, have to, just do your best at that time and...
Breathe.
Yes, breathe.
Just breathe.
You know it. I know everyone's you know it. But really, if you honestly, if you've done all your homework and you study and you put all your life and heart and soul in this, when those tests come up, you do know it. You just gotta get in that mode and have confidence.
Yeah. Always state you've washed your hands. Even if you sound dumb.
Oh my god.
Just state that you washed your hands.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just state it.
Just say, I've washed my hands.
Yeah.
And I've gloved up properly.
Mm-hmm. If no one does it better like Nurse Blake, who acts out these simulations. If you don't follow him. I die at his videos.
He's funny. He's hilarious.
He's so funny. My first semester, we had 2 snow days in a row for clinical days. So we missed 2 clinical days in a row. And those were our days where we had our check-off. So they chunked them up. So you did 4 on one day, 4 on another. So what do you know? 12 landed on one day when we came back.
It's
and
scary.
It was an absolute mess. Nothing is more petrifying than the blood pressure measuring.
You got to make sure you're on the right number. That's scary.
Because for us, it was you couldn't go 2 above or 4 above.
I think mine was 2.
2 above?
Something like that.
You had to be on it.
Sometimes I have a hard time hearing. I actually had to buy a nicer stethoscope. I spent almost $300 on it.
Really?
Because the cheap ones, you can't really, at least for me, I can't hear out of it. So I did,
I remember we were doing apical pulses.
Oh, God.
And the one, when I was the person being tested on, the girl failed, but she said my heartbeat was too fast, and the doctor's not the doctor, oh my god, our teacher's her heartbeat is so clear, it's ba-bump, ba-bump.
Wonder if she was in the wrong spot.
Maybe
sometimes I feel if you don't know you have a hearing problem when you get to nursing school, you'll find out real quick.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to schedule a hearing exam.
But it wasn't even, she was really off.
How off?
It was
20?
I mean, my heartbeat was going fast because I just finished the blood pressure
one.
No, it was either I finished it or that was my next one. So it was 110. but
Your body was trying to compensate.
my body was trying to compensate. But the teacher was like, what? Like, because she said like 80 something, 90 something. Like, that was off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound off. If anyone
Yeah.
doesn't think so, it's off.
It is scary,
It
guys.
is off. So
Crazy.
just practice and you'll be fine. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Just breathe and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I think we kind of talked about sleep a little bit. You really don't get a lot of sleep, and the sleep you get is not good quality.
I have breakdowns in caps.
Yeah, and your moods constantly switch every day. I think people forget that. I mean, it's, you might feel real happy one day because you got a test. You got an A on your test, but then the next day you're like so anxious because now you're worried about another test. It's legit an emotion of roller coasters.
It really
Buckle up,
is.
Buttercup.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
It honestly is, and I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but
There's no better feeling actually when you finish an exam and you have no clinicals the next day. You just I do nothing.
oh, I take a day to myself.
I have to take the afternoon off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Like, there's no better feeling. You just come home and turn on Netflix and drink wine.
Mm-hmm. Or
Because
just get in your PJs and go to sleep.
That's it. I went to bed at the minute I got home, and it was at 4, and slept the entire day.
Well, you gotta take it when you can get it.
Take it when you can get it. There you go.
And, don't tell yourself, like, if you're going through these mood swings, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, if you need to see a counselor or, maybe start exercising because exercising is great for your mood, or talk to somebody, or maybe don't study that day and take a day to yourself and go to the beach with your family. Like, really, I cannot push this enough, is to take care of yourself.
I think also on that, I didn't listen to my body a lot the first year.
Yeah.
And you know it when you can't study anymore, when you're about to break down and you're about to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your body saying, you need to stop what you're doing because if you continue, you're going to do more damage.
Yeah.
And I wish I embraced this a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with telling everyone that you're around, I am not in the best mood at this moment.
I've had to tell people that. I'm like, I can't hang out
You say it all
tonight.
the time.
I'm like, everyone just needs to leave me alone.
Yep. And even if it's your closest friends, be like, hey guys, if I seem off, it's just a really bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Or go home. Like, don't feel like anyone's going to judge you. If you're like, you know what, I'm just going to study at home today. I can't do group study today.
Yeah, group study can be intense sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my way of group studying.
Yeah.
Like, my way of studying is group studying and really just digging into Iggy, which is our textbook we use a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. I mean, you'll start studying and then you'll have all these people in your studying room, and it's like, you really got to make sure you're staying on track of things and everything, because you can lose track.
Oh, man.
A lot.
Wait a minute. So our school has these many areas to study, but they have these study rooms, and all of our cubicles.
Yeah.
And all of our walls pretty much are whiteboard, so you can write on the walls.
I do like that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no time restraint on the study rooms, but if your school is like our school, don't hog the study room. Don't leave your stuff in the study room and go to lecture for 4 hours.
Yeah, like, if you're going out to get, like, a sandwich at the cafeteria and coming back, that's cool. But, like, there's other people that need to study. And also, when you're done, you need to clean up your mess. Because the mess that I've seen, it's like we're in kindergarten.
Yeah.
People leave trash on the ground. They don't push their chairs in. It's, like, disgusting.
There's random smudges on the table.
It's crazy. Like, they'll spill coffee on the table and won't even, like, go find, like, a, wet wipe or something. And it's just... I don't know.
And our cleaning people at our school are awesome.
No, they're
Shout
awesome.
out to them.
Yes.
My dad visited my school, and he said there was not one dust bunny anywhere.
A dust bunny.
Anywhere, but they probably are so sick of us half the time.
Well, they are, and, or people will take the markers, so that's why I always buy,
That's why you buy
extra.
your own expo markers.
Yeah.
Or, my biggest pet peeve is, don't erase this until... They write, don't erase.
I know, and it's like, well, where am I supposed to write?
Yeah. It's, like, outlandish. Like, if it's, like, the next morning, maybe I'll consider it.
Yeah, but you can't keep it up for 6 weeks.
Especially during finals.
Yeah.
Are you insane? Like,
don't be selfish, people. Come on.
like, that's just... And then what you said, like, random people coming in and...
Yeah.
Read
Like,
the room. Read the room.
And I feel like, if you're going to join somebody else's study group, just make sure you ask, like, hey, do you mind?
Yeah.
Not just come in and sit down and be like, okay, I'm taking over. Because I feel like it's very rude. It doesn't happen a lot.
Not a lot.
In our school. But, there's people that are guilty for it. So really, honestly...
Yeah. Because...
Be considerate,
Yeah, the amount of time you have to study is endless.
Oh, you could study for, I could study until I'm 100 years old, and I still wouldn't know enough.
No.
So you really got to make sure you're using your time and get organized. And I think that's a really big thing is getting organized. I'm already OCD, so I'm really organized. But if you're not, you need to learn how to get organized and
Get an
stay
agenda book.
organized.
Agenda books. Use your phone. You use your phone. You have lists.
I have lists. I have my phone, and I'm very, like, if it's on my agenda book, it's going to happen, guys. Like, there's no going back.
You have everything written down.
Yes, I do.
I feel like I remember dates really well, so they're in there.
Well, that's good. No, I gotta, because I also have, like, Willie to take care of, and, and all this other stuff, so.
We didn't even really talk about the type of questions, nursing questions.
With the test.
Oh.
I'll let you tackle this one.
Okay. So there's not only taking a test, a nursing exam, but there are certain questions that you're gonna be exposed to when you come to nursing school. And the one nightmare
There's
is...
no way around them.
No way around them. But the killer of them all are the select all that apply. Let me say that again.
Yep.
Select all that apply are the absolute worst I've ever come across.
Well, and the funny thing about them is, if you get part of the question right, like if you get, 2 out of 3 of them right, and there's 4, A, B, C, D, whatever, you don't get full credit, or you don't get partial credit. Either you get them all right, or you're done.
Yeah.
So I think that's frustrating, too. At least for me.
And not, again, our school, after when you take an exam, they give you, when you're able to review exams, you're given like a printed sheet where it tells you what questions you got right or wrong.
What type of question.
And at the bottom they say, out of all the select all the apply questions, what you've gotten right or wrong. I don't think I've ever gotten them all right. The closest I've ever gotten to was like 2 wrong.
One test I got them all right, but there wasn't that many, I feel like, on that test.
Yeah.
But, don't beat yourself up on the select all to apply.
They're challenging. They're a good challenge now, I feel like.
Now they are. Going back, like when we first started, it was like, it was, what is this?
Yeah, read those questions. Because there have been times, it's happened to me.
Put one word and it changes the whole, I hate that question.
The whole thing, priority words,
question.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've missed select all that apply.
Because I
just answered one.
Yep.
They didn't bold it or anything. And
you're so used to them bolding. So honestly, breathe when you're reading these questions. And another thing that I do is I cover up the answers before I even read the question.
Yeah, good one.
So, like, I'll read the question, and I won't look at, A, B, C, or D, whatever. And I'll be like, what is the answer? And sometimes when I uncover it, it's there.
Yeah.
Because I already know it. I don't need to,
You get in less of the habit of looking for the answer.
Yeah, because that's what's going to trip you up. Don't ever look for the question.
Yeah. Because
answer in the question.
That's going to kill you. I did that. I admit it. Like, I killed myself doing that. And they give you a scrap piece of paper. Use that scrap piece of paper to your advantage.
I write a lot of crazy meme, whatever you want to call it, sayings, how I remember things.
Oh,
that would be a different podcast. You guys definitely should listen to that, because some of the things I come up with.
Well, pretty soon we're going to add, like, tips for every episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Tips for every episode. We got to make our list first.
Yeah, but no, they're funny, and I promise you won't ever forget them.
Let me tell you, some of our classmates, they already texted me about some that they even remember, and they're like, you've got to put this in there. Yeah. And I don't forget them.
I'll never forget them.
Either.
So, make sure you stay tuned. Should we give them one this episode, or wait?
What one would you give? No, let's wait.
We'll wait. We'll start with calcium next time.
Oh my god. Lab values, guys.
Come on,
Don't
guys.
ever forget the lab values.
So,
I mean, I'm just looking over we have such a big list, I can't even.
we do.
Oh god. ATI.
Oh, Lord. ATI is definitely a different kind of animal. You know, you hate it, then you love it, then you hate it. You know, it's always a mixed emotion for me.
I just hate it.
You know, and I mean, it does get you ready for NCLEX, and, you know.
It's how we study for the NCLEX. It's,
Yeah.
You take different parts at different times, and you're scored nationwide.
Yeah.
But then you get points related to what level you get, and it's a mess. Whenever you just hear ATI, it's never fun. It's so annoying.
It is, and it's, like, exhausting. You know, you're just trying to pass this test, not worry about ATI. But it is what it is. You know, and it's funny because when you're taking ATI or any test, it's crazy because guys, I gotta tell you this story. So I was taking, I know this is off topic, but you'll know me. I get off topic, but we learned. Oh, we were taking the final. Well, I was taking the final.
Final.
Yeah, and I was taking it. You know, because of the COVID, we had to take it at home, and they, you know, monitored you on the camera, and I'm taking the test and. My son comes running into the room, and I'm like, Willie, you can't be in here, you know, because they'll fail you. And my mom's out walking. We got a little new puppy, walking the puppy. So and the mute's not on. So I'm coughing, pretending to cough in my arm, screaming my mother's name, and I'm sweating. I'm on question, like, maybe 20 out of 75. I'm like, they're going to kick me out of nursing program. I just spent $30,000. And my son's like, I just want to play with you. And I'm like, not today, Willie.
Do you remember when I called you and what I was panicked about and you were freaking out at me?
You were freaked out about a bug or something?
Okay, so during my final, a stink bug flew in my face. And
oh my gosh.
I'm actually, you're going to think I'm sound crazy. Like, I'm thankful for that stink bug. Because
check your check yourself.
Because it was like, I'm like, because the microphone's not on, but I'm like, oh my god.
They think that you're like looking at stuff, like cheating.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, because my hands went like all over the place. I swear I hit myself. If the guy
was paying attention.
Yeah, I just feel like, what is going on?
She's having a seizure.
I remember
tonic-clonic seizure over here.
I remember when I called you, I'm like, I need to email them.
Somebody.
And you were like freaking out, like I was screaming at my son and you had a stink bug fly in your face. And because you're so panicked because they can kick you out for anything.
It is scary, you know, and I don't agree with cheating at all.
Oh my god.
That's definitely another podcast topic, you know, and I don't want anybody to think I've ever, you know, not in nursing school, but I've cheated on some things back in life, but never in nursing school. I will say that, and I'm very proud of that because I've worked too hard to cheat.
Yeah.
You know, I put in the time, so why cheat? Because I know this stuff. But, like, again, that's another
It's just amazing to see how far people have gone with cheating. Everything that we have to go through even before taking an exam when we're at school physically, it's crazy. Nothing on your wrist, no earrings,
no badge, no nothing.
No necklaces, hair. Well, I mean, they don't require you to put your hair up, but
they probably will.
Yeah.
We'll go first day of class. Please put your hair up, everyone.
What, a military buzz cut or something? It's all required before you even start.
Yeah.
Just make it fair. We're taking care of people. Don't take the time to cheat. Like, how is that fair?
Well, it's not. And, you know, you can cheat and pass nursing school, but can you cheat your way out of calling the doctor and not knowing what's going on with your patient?
True.
So, you know, karma's a good thing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It has no deadline.
You worked so hard for this.
Yeah.
Like, and it just, when people are taking that away from you, doing that, it's just not a good feeling. It's just disgusting.
It is disgusting, but you just got to make sure you're focusing on yourself and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Or even those that repeated and those that didn't repeat, go and find those people that repeated.
Yeah,
just to get information out of them.
So don't be one of those people, guys. Really, honestly, don't give out answers. You really got to watch what you say in nursing school because they can cost you. I've seen definitely some LPNs get kicked out of nursing program.
Yep.
And not because they, were trying to be this horrible person, but, just pay attention to what you're doing and kind of stick to yourself and, your close friends.
And respect your teachers, too.
They work hard, and I feel like we don't see what's going on in the back.
Yeah, I think we saw a
back
lot this semester, especially with COVID. I couldn't imagine being in their shoes, but, I mean...
I'd rather be in their shoes.
Yeah,
Sometimes. No, I mean, I'm glad for my journey, and I shouldn't wish to be anybody else right now.
Yeah. I just thought of, two, little things that drive me nuts. I know we covered them on the topics already, but...
Yeah.
And I think everyone can agree with me, when either teachers change the PowerPoints 2 minutes before...
Oh my gosh, I
the
hate
lecture,
that.
And you printed out a 95-page PowerPoint, and they're actually slides that are have info on them, and you're like, oh crap. Or they didn't even post it.
Well, they didn't post it, and they get to class and they start, teaching, and you're got to be that one person 5 minutes in, being like, "Where's the PowerPoint?" And they're like, "Oh, I forgot." It's okay for them to forget things, but heaven forsakes if you forget something.
It blows your mind sometimes.
It does. But
and then everyone's running out to go get them. They're like, oh, you could just print it on break. And they already went through 80% of it.
And then the printer jams. It's crazy. Just make sure you're prepared for class and just do your best,
Yeah. But one major thing before, wrapping this up, I've never had friends like nursing school friends.
I agree.
It's something... the journey altogether,
Mm-hmm.
You just share a bond with them. I can't even describe it. And like from my first degree, I'm close with a couple people.
Yeah.
It's like high school. You drift apart and it's fine, but I know the true ones, but I've never felt so close to people.
Because I feel like you go through hell and back, and that person is the only person that knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have other people who are like, yeah, like nursing school is so hard, but if you've never been through nursing school,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you just don't understand.
Yeah, it's genuine. It really is. People reach out to you. The compliments and the comments and just the uplifting
Mm-hmm.
everything. It really is. And then people are there for your breakdowns and
Oh God, I knew you were there.
Yep. Me crying on the phone, me having panic attacks.
Mm-hmm.
When someone's left a classroom to go have a panic attack, who follows after you?
Yeah, it's a lot, but
Venting, just everything, because everyone is going through the same thing, no matter if they're struggling on taking exams and you aren't, or if
somebody's
you are,
always struggling with something. You know, you either got the people that are really good with tests, or really bad with clinical, or really good with sim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could always really good in one part, but that doesn't mean you're going to be good in every part. Everyone breaks down, you know, and some people don't show it.
Yeah.
I'm
They
sure
don't.
some people go home and cry.
Yeah.
You know, I've never met one person who was like, you know, nursing school is easy. Maybe M.
Oh.
Oh, Lord, we don't talk about her. But, you know,
How many times have, like, you called me, I didn't pick up, and then I'm like, sorry, I was just having a breakdown. Or I text
and I'm
you.
the one having a breakdown. Like, Bronte, I don't need you to have a breakdown. I need to have a breakdown.
Keep it together. Or the text that I get, like, I'm freaking out, and you're like, it's okay.
And
me
we're
too.
trying to refresh the button to see our grade like 17,000 times in
Blackboard?
1 minute. Yes.
Canvas or whatever you guys use. I've never hit refresh like
It's
I do a
crazy.
Blackboard refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Announcements, you're like, oh my God, is there extra credit?
Extra credit. Love extra credit. It's a gift, guys. Extra credit is a gift, so don't ever take it lightly.
Yeah. And lean on your friends too.
Yeah.
Lean on extra credit too. Don't depend on extra credit. Do not
depend, but if it's given, you know, make sure you're
thanking.
be thankful, and also be humble. You know, this is a journey. We all have the same goal, but our journeys might be a little bit different.
Because they don't give you extra credit for taking back a life.
They don't.
So be thankful for it.
Be thankful, be humble, and don't act, you know, even if you're like the top of the top nursing student, please don't ever act like you know everything, because you don't.
Yeah.
Nobody knows everything. Stay humble.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what makes a good nurse.
And don't think you're the only one eating out and drinking a bunch of wine. That's like it's
Pink Moscato.
pink Moscato, a good glass of Riesling, a good glass of
White
red,
Claws. All right.
White Claws, a good glass of red, and a good blanket.
Yep.
And that's all I need, and a good pillow to cry in sometimes. Sometimes, you know what? I've had a glass of wine and just cried.
And sometimes you need to cry, and don't ever feel like, and this is what I do, and I've learned definitely over the last year, is don't just hold in emotions. Like, if you want to cry or need to cry, let it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I never used to cry. I've cried a couple times this year, and, like, you know, even my friends will vouch for me. Like, I don't ever cry, but sometimes I feel like after I cry, I let it out.
Yes.
Or I'm like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. But no, I need to feel this way because that's what my body's telling me to do. So, little tips and everything for nursing school, you know.
Just, and you know, play some good music.
Yes, Nicki Minaj.
Yep. Just some, I am a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. Dance it out.
Yeah. Or I have this app called Calm.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah.
Too.
Or meditation's a big thing for me. I've learned to meditate over the last year, and it's something that, I mean, I've done a couple times in the past, but I've really been doing it, and it's really calming. I am really starting to be aware of, like, you know, my body and my emotions. So
My boyfriend wants me to get into yoga.
we should do yoga.
Yeah. I can't get into it. I feel like I would like it if I commit to it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just feel
always
awkward.
like to try things, guys, but
I feel so awkward doing it.
just find your own way and find your own path, and you guys will make it. And it goes by quick.
It really does. It's the longest,
It feels long when you're
quickest
doing
time.
it, but in between semesters, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that was, 16, 17 weeks, and you're like, what? And you'll miss it.
I will.
You know, I already missed third semester. I mean, I'm looking forward to my last semester in nursing, but in LPN, I still miss LPN school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so enjoy every single moment, because honestly, we were all slowly dying.
It's the real deal after.
It's true.
It is the real
It's
deal
the real
after.
deal, and you know, you're thrown out there and be like, okay, you need to perform, and it's no joke.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, I'm dependent on
Like, this is
for
not
real.
like a little, you know, joke. It's not. So, and we all want to be a nurse for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you just gotta find your own way.
Yeah. Hang in there as best as you can.
Yep.
Just keep going. Don't stop.
Don't stop, because your dream is right around the corner. And you might not even know it, but it is.
Don't think you're alone either. Do not think you're alone.
You're not, because you're sitting in a room with, you know, 200 people, and
Mm-hmm.
whether they look like it or not, they're going through some things.
Yeah. You have a whole class.
Yeah. And nurses before
Thing to
you
do.
and nurses after you. So
Teachers, too.
teachers been through there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they get paid whether you pass or not, but they've been there.
Mm-hmm. And even go to their office, too. Like, hey, can I just cry for a second?
Yeah.
Like,
And there's always counselors, at least at our school, you know.
Yeah.
Use the resources around you. The gym, our college has a gym, and I'm there at, 6 a.m. every morning?
5:45, 6.
Yeah. Like, we're there, and, you know, we take showers there, and that's our time to wake up, and that's my time.
Yep. You, me, and Ashley.
Me, you, and Ashley. Shout out Ashley.
Ooh.
Miss you, girl. But, you know, you need to find your own groove, and
Do things for you. Don't do anything for anyone else.
yeah.
Because it's you. You're the one doing it.
Yep. And you're the one. So.
Well, I mean, how long have we been going for? Hold on a second.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
Over an hour.
Ooh. See, watch me end this, and then I'm going to think of like 25 more things, but we'll make that for part 2.
Yeah, well, we have a lot more to talk about, guys. And not just with nursing, too. So just, you know, hang with us. Keep listening. And like I said, if you, you know, hopefully you're on our Facebook page, Slowly Dying. And if you want to hear other things, like I said, anything.
Anything.
Just go ahead and shoot us a message.
Even if it's a time in clinical or
Yeah.
any moment that you can think of.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and if there's another career or any, you know, we're not all in nursing. So,
Yeah.
you know, just give us a shout out and
We'll go from there.
yeah.
You know? So.
All right, guys, it's been real.
So
the
real.
sassy one, Becca.
I
Make
can't
sure I
get
get
used
it
to
right.
this.
Becca's
is
logging
so-
off. Peace out.
I feel so weird if I say the bubbly one.
You
But,
should though.
all right, the bubbly one, BB.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.